This is Lino Tamrat. I'm here with Nigest Haile, founder and executive director for Cawee. With this awareness creation forum here held in Radisson Blu Hotel, I'm going to invite Nigest to disclose or tell about this event which is happening right now on Radisson Blu Hotel. Welcome, Nigest.
Thank you, Liu. Our event today focuses on the issue which we already have started advocating and lobbying, which is women in small and medium enterprise accessing public procurement. What makes unique about today's forum was that we had our ambassadors, the main ambassadors, 4 of them on board, and also the media team, was print and electronic media, which we had the opportunity also to hold a press conference. So this had been the whole event which we had today.
So it was the awareness creation about public procurement, specifically about this small and medium enterprises. So what was the main idea to disclose about the awarenesses about public procurement aspects, basically with regard to women engagements?
As data has been clearly showing, like today our facilitators had been presenting like figures on the procurement budget of Ethiopia. Like this year the procurement budget was mentioned to be about 540 billion birr, where 64% of that nearly estimated to be about 340 something billion birr. And assuming this huge amount, we were just challenging ourselves what significant percentage has gone to women in small and medium enterprises, and how far those women in small and medium enterprises were benefiting from this tender facilities. So far we were able to do, with the support we had from Oxfam, we were able to do some desk review, even though there was not in-depth research done in this area to get data tangible data at hand. But again, following our desk review, we were able to see that women in small and medium enterprises were not able to benefit from the existing public procurement facilities. So our issue is creating awareness, having main allies, so that our voices can better be heard through our ambassadors. And we were very strategic in identifying our ambassadors, very strategically from the private sector. The Secretary General of Addis Ababa Chamber of Commerce and sectoral associations. We also had from the civil society organization Oxfam, where the Oxfam Ethiopia country director was also one of our ambassadors. And also Nat Bank, one of the 16 private banks, mainly established by women for women. So we also want to bring on board the CEO of the bank, because the bank has a role in supporting women in accessing public procurement. And the 4th ambassador was from Social Enterprise Ethiopia as a president, where we thought also that's a key area where that particular president can also be our additional voice. So this had been a great session this morning, because our ambassadors were giving press conference, where we were able to get their views, their commitments, and we were able to see how best we can go forward, particularly in designing our action plan, and how best we can use their networks and expertise.
That's wonderful. It's wonderful to incorporate young people's basically as an ambassadors to encourage and empower women to incorporate themselves to the public procurement aspects. So women's, basically, when you say women's, which category, which age, which type of women should engage themselves to public procurement aspects?
As the theme also indicates, it's women in small and medium enterprises. So the category of business is small and medium enterprises, which are legally registered businesses that can be eligible to respond to government tenders. Usually the age range goes between 25 to 40. So this is usually the age range group. Sometimes it might get down or up. But the category, mainly the business category, is women in small and medium enterprises that are mainly our members.
Definitely wonderful. So I was hearing from one of the ambassadors from Oxfam, Dr. Gazang, who was mentioning that it's not only given opportunity for women to participate in public procurement, but also equipping, capacitating women to compete with the main alliance and with the main participants in the public procurement. So what Cawee takes as an initiative to equip women to participate in public procurement?
Yeah, this had been one of the major issues that was raised also by Addis Ababa Chamber, as well as Dr. Gazang from Oxfam. Let's say that the government will listen to our voices, and if by chance we are going to get 30 or 50% procurement set aside for women, the question was, are our women ready to respond to those tenders? So some of them might be ready, but the majority of them might not be ready. So our task as trade promotion organization as Cawee, and as well as the task of the chamber, which we agreed, is building their capacities, which we also are doing. We want them to expand their production bases, to be more productive and efficient, to deliver quality products, because they are women. We don't want sort of charity to be given to them, but we want them to qualify and respond to tender requests, so that they can be able to provide the required goods and services. So we had been working on it, and will continue aggressively working, building their capacities through trainings, business development services, networking, creating networking opportunities, because this was what we were saying. Women lack information on tenders because of their limited time and their multiple roles. They don't have time to get engaged in happy hours like men. So we want to create happy hours for women.
Yes.
So this is what we're thinking of doing, to create more happy hours for women, so that they can come together and also have happy hours with men.
Sure, definitely.
So that we try to break unnecessary cultural barriers, so that women can feel free to go anywhere where happy hours of men is happening, so that they can mingle together, they can share information together and benefit as well from any information related to tender.
Yes. Apart from the challenge that the government encouraging women to participate in public procurement, there is a challenge with the side of women. Basically, maybe they don't engage in themselves in social media and internet on a place where they can find tender. So that this is one of the opportunity for Cawee to present those opportunities, this digitalizing and accessing these public procurement opportunities for women to find this opportunity.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, but still again comes to their time constraints. These women are not only entrepreneurs, they are mothers, they are wives, they are family and community caretakers, and a lot is expected from them. And all on top of that, they are also entrepreneurs. And the limited time they are having, they don't have the luxury of the time that the men have. So with this limited time, as you had been saying it right, this is a time of digital era. When we're trying to encourage them to use their phones, to use any of their electronic gadgets, so that they can access information at their fingertips, so that they don't be left behind. So that's more important. So, but still, we have tried to engage them, to enlighten them that this is a time of digitalization, and they have to get the knowledge and the skills, the technology at hand, get trained, so that they can access information from their phones even. So we are trying to do our best, and we believe that they have tried themselves to make themselves be ready.
Wonderful.
To respond.
This thing has to be considered with the side of this women and working on small and medium enterprises, also with the government side. As a bridge, your organization is working in encouraging and creating a platform of opportunity for women to network, to get knowledge, to be accessible to this public procurement opportunities. And the panel discussion and the session, I have heard about policy. I think this is a very basic issue. The government should consider, the parliament should consider on how women get this opportunity to get involved in the public procurement. Basically, it is open for everyone, though there is challenges for women to access it. So what do you think of this policy?
No, I think the whole purpose of our campaign is to get affirmative action.
Okay.
So the facilitators this morning had been mentioning about the experiences of Kenya, where women in business in Kenya and some minority groups are given 30% of the procurement share. And again, from the 70% also, they have the right to compete. And again, it's not only the provision, but preparing the tender document is also another difficult task. So what the Kenyan government does is they just have set an office where women can get supported, get handheld to develop, to produce their tender documents. So we expect such kind of support also from our government, learn from the experiences of Kenya and the others. Good practices are always good. So we want provisions. We want that the whole campaign, the whole shout, the whole thing we want our voices to be heard is to get this procurement proclamation amended. Amended in a sense that certain percentage is set favoring women for those that can deliver the required goods and services. And again, providing them, as I said, like the Kenyan government is doing, providing them hands-on support in the preparation of tender documents. So I think this good practice can help as well our government, and we believe that our legislators, our executing organizations, and anyone who is concerned can be able to support this cause.
And I've also seen that you have incorporated ambassadors from different sectors, and it is very important because men has to also shout for women, but these ambassadors have a lot of expectations. Basically, what Cawee and Cawee's supporters expect from these ambassadors?
I think we had been very strategic in identifying the ambassadors. As I said, we have focused the private sector, where we targeted Addis Ababa Chamber. One of the vibrant chamber in the country is Addis Ababa Chamber of Commerce and Sectoral Association. So where the Secretary General had been very supportive in accepting our request. And Nat Bank, one of the pioneer women's commercial bank, which we thought is very important because when there is a requirement for a tender, there is need for finance. So in a situation where many of them do not have cash at hand or cannot show collateral to get a loan, certain provision has to be made. So that's why we targeted Nat Bank CEO, which he has gladly accepted our request. So those two private sector actors we believe are very important. And also the third ambassador, who is the social enterprise Ethiopia president. Again, another enterprise, but socially responsible enterprises. Yeah, so those are, the fourth one is the CSO, the civil society organization, which we have targeted Oxfam Ethiopia country director. And again, he has gladly received our request to be our ambassador. We thought these are prominent people, and if their voices are added to our voices, we believe that we can better be heard. Because these are prominent people in their own capacities, but again, mobilizing our cause beyond their tasks also can help us. So our expectation, as they had been saying in the press conference, is we believe we will have other meetings with the ambassadors and try to do our strategic plan on our way forward, how best we can use those ambassadors in their different capacities and bring out results in our campaign.
This is wonderful. Finally, I just want to ask you about your partners working with you about this women empowerment and public procurement aspects, engaging women in public procurement aspects. And I just want to hear from you back about the panel discussion which was being made here. So final question for you, that who is your partners and what are they expecting in achievement of the public procurement engagement for women. So how is Cawee executing this project?
Actually, this is a project which is expected to end of May, this month. It's called STEACH, Strengthening Network for Greater Impact. It's a project where Cawee is leading in this country, and Oxfam, Feminet, where the abbreviation stands for African Women's Development and Communication Network, is part of this collaboration, and also the European Union, which is financing this project. So this STEACH project is not only for Ethiopia, it's working more than 10 countries within the continent. So each of the country has its own priority areas to work on, but for Ethiopia, for Cawee, our priority was focusing on women in SMEs in accessing public procurement, where we saw a gap that we have to advocate and try to bring out changes. So this thing is not an overnight change. We don't expect change in overnight. It might be a struggle for the coming years beyond this project phase. But again, the project has left us great footprints. We were able to get trained in different advocacy and campaigning tools, which was indeed very important for Cawee's in-house capacity. So even if the project ends up in May, end of May this month, we are quite sure that with all the support of our ambassadors, which you have heard this morning, all of them were aggressive in supporting this cause. We believe we will be able to mobilize resources so that we continue this campaign sustainably and hopefully try to reach the legislators, our members of parliament, and also the executing organization, the Federal Procurement Agency and other concerned ones. So we will try to convince them to provide awareness so that the status of our women is in such and such situation, and they have never been benefited from the huge government procurement facility, and try to find ways on how best they can benefit in the coming years to come. So this is a campaign for the years to come. It won't end when the project is ending this month. But again, as I said, it had been a very good start. Starting last year, a year back, we started advocating on this issue. Thanks to Oxfam, we were able to get local consultant to be employed, where we were able to develop a project implementation strategy and also a policy paper where we're thinking of organizing high-level event, bringing our high-level officials, members of parliament, concerned ministers and agency leaders, so that we inform them what is going on. And if we are able to secure resources, we are thinking of conducting research so that we have tangible data at hand to continue. You know, figures are very important.
Sure.
So that in the past 10 years from the procurement process, how many women had been benefiting? If women were not benefiting, what were the causes, what were the problems, so that we have tangible data at hand to continue our advocacy and campaigning in the coming years to come.
Thank you very much, Nigest. But I have done with my interview, but if you have some words to say, but also...
Yeah, thank you so much. We rely on your company so that using the different social media, since the conversation is both in English and Amharic, we believe that your outreach will reach our Amharic speakers as well as the English speakers, so that in many of the social media platforms which you already have started working on, we believe that 2 days event on our awareness creation, the press conference outcomes will also be broadcasted and posted in the social media, and many of them will be following us, so that our voices will add up day to day and we can be better heard.
Thank you very much, viewers. That was Lina Tamar with Nigest, founder and executive director for Cawee. We've done our interview. We'll come back to you. Thank you very much.